started. So share. So, mag-English lang ako siguro, pre.
Sige.
Patay tayo dyan. So this is my self-directed study. So it's the subject we're talking about, or the topic we're talking about is about how to configure a firewall, which is specifically to a Sonicwall firewall. And in this typology, we're gonna have two firewalls, which is highly available. So the first firewall is the primary firewall, which is having all the configuration and the shown ports. So first is the LAN, which is the default port. We did not use this one because I don't want to use the default configuration, which is not, we are not able to modify it. And the second one is the WAN, or the internet connection. So this one is connected to a DMZ through of the Bell fiber optic connection to the internet. So it will have a public address, public IP address. So the third port is the X2, or the third port. This is for the corp network, or the corporate network. This is where the commonly used by the users. And in this example, it is connected to a D-Link Wi-Fi access point and is connected to my laptop. So the fourth port is connected to the server's network, and this is connected to one of the server. And the next one is the X4, or the fifth port, which is related to the service 1, service 2 for the next port, and the service 3. So there are difference between the three services. I will explain that later. So the next one is the Wi-Fi trunk, which is going to be connected to the Wi-Fi access points, and then the high availability link between the two firewalls. So if you notice, we have a connection here in our D-Link Wi-Fi. Two connections. One is for the primary, and the other one is secondary. So the purpose of the high availability is to have a redundant connection in case the primary firewall shuts down, and then the secondary firewall will automatically be active. So the nature of high availability of the Sonicwall is the secondary firewall, or the HA firewall, is just a replica of the primary firewall. It means it is a standby. It means it's not active at all. There's no load balancing. So it will become active once the primary shut down and turns over the connection. So here in this section, we're gonna have a switch, which is a unified switch. So in this unified switch, it is connected. It has been configured with two ports with trunk. So the Wi-Fi trunk 1 is connected to the primary firewall with port X7, and then the trunk 2 is connected to the secondary firewall, which is also to the X7. So yeah, so in case the primary shuts down, the trunk number 2 will be active to provide internet connection or services to the Wi-Fi. And here in the, sorry for that. So here in the ports of the Wi-Fi, if you notice, we have AP10, AP20, and 30, 40. So AP10 basically is, these ports has been divided into VLANs. So our trunk has been configured with 4 VLANs. So basically, for AP10 is VLAN 10 and 20, VLAN 20 and 30 and 40. So what makes the difference is that the firewall rules for this are different from each other, because for VLAN 10, it's only connected to the WAN or the internet, and the AP20 is connected to internet and service tree, and AP30 is servers and service tree, and the AP40 will have the access for the WAN and servers and service tree. If you see here, available networks, we have the core servers, which are the servers. Service one is mostly are the NAS. So this is storage or the IoTs or the cameras, and the service two is the same. And the service three is mainly for domain printers, where everyone is using. For example, in access point 3, we gotta have the users could only access the server at the same time to the printer, and the Wi-Fi trunk and the HA link these networks. So apart from that, we also configured the SSL VPN clients, where the mobile phones or tablets or any mobility devices could be able to connect to the network through SSL VPN configuration. Now, talking about the firewall access rules, here I'm going to show you how it's been granted. So, for example, this is our WAN. So the internet is here. So here we have the access point. Wi-Fi AP10 has the connection to the WAN. AP20 has the internet, and then AP30 doesn't have, and AP40 has the internet connection, and also AP30 has the connection to the servers and to the service tree, which are like printers. And if you can see, the servers has the connection to the 3 services. And apart from that, the service 1 and 2 has their own connectivity also. So they have firewall rules have been maintained. And if the user is connected to the core network, he has the access for the servers, to the internet. Yep. And through the printers could be accessed through the servers. So probably in the service tree, why we are giving access to the Wi-Fi, just because of some printers are not controlled by domain, and like a public printer, something like that. So the Wi-Fi devices are the ones who will utilize those devices. Let's see how's the configuration of the Sonicwall. Okay. Oh, so basically SSL, we have this basic configuration of SSL, which is we are connected to the WAN, and this is the default port, and local domain is a user domain since we are not connected to the LDAP. And then we have the client. Client settings has been configured. If you see here, oops. So this is the zone that we maintain, SSL VPN for V4. And then this is a defined network. This is a pool of VPN networks. So from here, we got it. The network has been defined on which IP address. So let's take a look at that in the objects, which is in the address objects. So it is here VPN pool. The IP address will be 192.168.168, 100 to 110. So probably there are only 10 clients could be accommodated at the same time. So portal, nothing special in here, and virtual office also. And now if you want to download the client for VPN, so you can download from here. The next one are let's take a look at the network, how it's been maintained. So the LAN, we just ignore the LAN because we don't want to make use of this default one. So the one is here, which is the public IP address. Okay, this might change, so you might copy this one, but it will not work after some time. And here, the core, I have the IP address as the gateway, and then this is for the servers. So the core, it has a DHCP, which is maintained also, and then we have the services. This is a different IP address, and then the Wi-Fi trunk. So initially, the Wi-Fi trunk, I maintained it in a single connection, but after some time, we maintained it into different VLANs. So we have here VLAN 10, 20, 30, 40, as I mentioned before. So they are the sub interfaces of the Wi-Fi trunk or X7. So talking about the zones, we have maintained manually different zones. For example, for each network, we have like core, and then we have the servers, services, Wi-Fi, or the VLANs are here also. This is useful in terms of maintaining the rules. So we talk about the rules now. So these are the access rules. So let us say we'll look at the SSL VPN. The SSL VPN could only access the server subnets, and then for the corp, see the corp has the access to the server, which is specifically to the one of the server, which is a web services, and then the ICMP for pinging. So everything has been defined. Like for example, for Wi-Fi VLAN 10 going to the 1, it has the access to the internet, and then to VLAN 20, let's say all. So VLAN 20 has access to the internet and the services. And 30, you're gonna have the servers and services, and the 40 having everything in terms of WAN, servers, and service tree. Yep. So talking about the high availability, we have the basic setup for the high availability, which is configured in X14, and take a look at the general settings, which is active and standby. All right, and the high availability, the serial number has been defined, so you have to maintain it manually, and the interface is exporting. And here is nothing special. Item settings, yep, and we can see that 14 is not here anymore. It's been used. Apart from that, I think everything has been configured well. For the DHCP, we have some defined DHCP here. Okay, so these are the ranges that has been maintained. For example, in X4, yep, and these are the IP, and these are for different IP addresses of the services. Sorry. So here also it has been defined for the X4, X5, X6 are for the service 1 to 3, and then here we have the DHCP IP addresses for the Wi-Fi access point. So we have VLAN 10, VLAN 20, and 30 and 40. So right now we can get also the 192.168 and the third octet, which is 10, 20, and 30 and 40. So whenever we are connected to a Wi-Fi, we're gonna get this different network. The lizards are here. Yep. So do you have any question?
Not so far.
Kalimutan kay close yung ano. May video akong may video akong ginawa dito sa external. So let's try to connect. Let's try to do the high availability. So in this D-Link, this is connected to the corp. So if you notice, I have this IP address. So I have this 191 network, and if I connect to the Wi-Fi AP, and currently physically it's connected to the port number 4, which is under VLAN 40. So we should get an IP address with the octet of 40, let's say, right? So we're gonna have this 40, which has a different firewall rules, right? So this one could access also the server. Should be able, but I think there's something wrong with that. Anyhow, so we'll try to go back to the D-Link. Na-explain ko na kasi ito eh. And also again, it's not working. Hinto ko na to kasi nagawa ko na to kanina. Paano ba i-stop to?
Ano ba yan? Video ba to? Video na pwedeng i-edit?
Yeah. Paano ba stop yung recording? Yan.